Consistency is the creator of success, and inconsistency is the death and killer of success. I'm Kenesha Hart. I am a speaker. I teach and speak people how to forge through the fear that is holding your future hostage so that you can release that future and create the future that you want to be the reality in your life by learning how to forge through the fears that are holding you back. And I also have the privilege of being the host of the Coach Up podcast, where I help coaches who are struggling and new, and entrepreneurs who are new and struggling, learn the income strategies they need to scale and build their business to their very first six-figure year through the power of podcasting. And I do that by interviewing and getting the strategies from 6, 7, and 8-figure coaches who have already done it. You're tuning in, thank you, because I am starting a series for September. So this is September 1st. You have 4 months left in 2024. September 1st, 2024, you have 4 months left. What are you doing with your time? And are you where you want to be? Are you on track with your goals? Are you completely off track with your goals? Are you in the realm of maybe you could finish your goals if some things change before the end of the year? That's what we're here to talk about for the month of September. And so I'm going to be coming to you. My goal is going to be consistent, which I said is the builder of success, every day for the next 30 days for 2 reasons. 1, to help you build momentum in your business to finish 2024 on target where you set your goals to be way back 8 months ago. And then secondly, my goal is to build this YouTube channel to 10,000 subscribers in 30 days. Now, I know that sounds crazy. I know it may sound like that's impossible to some people, but I serve a God who does what is impossible to us. It's possible for him. And I believe that if I'm going to do something, I might as well go big, right? So I got to put the same effort in to get 1,000 subscribers to come in and be part of this conversation and to learn here on this channel as I do the 10,000. So why not? And so I would love it if right now you would hit the subscribe button. You probably don't even know why you would do that, but help me reach this goal. And I promise you that you are going to get value from this channel going forward and over the next 90 days. Because what are you going to get? What are we going to talk about? And what I'm going to talk about today, fear of vulnerability. So I'm going to get into that in a minute, because you probably have some of those fears of being vulnerable, what that means, what that looks like, how it's holding you back in your life. And I want to be able to help you to learn how to forge through that vulnerability. And please know, I am learning with you. So even if as I speak on it, it is constantly the reason that fear and forging through fear will always be a topic that we talk about, is because fear continually attacks. It's not something that goes away. We can be overcomers of fear. We can eradicate fear. But fear itself is still going to attack. It is a spirit. It is going to attack you. You are going to be driving somewhere and somebody's going to cut you off and there's going to be a fear that pops up. That's legitimate fear, right? Being in a car accident. You are going to be taking on a new challenge and you're going to have fear and doubts and stress that it's going to work, or taking your business to a new level. Is it going to succeed? That's fear. It doesn't mean you have to be fearful. But we do have to acknowledge that it is going to attack, and then we have to know practical steps on forging through. And because it attacks in so many different areas of our lives and manifests in so many different ways in our lives, that's why we always have a way to talk about and always have a reason to talk about how do you forge through the fear that is currently holding your future hostage. First, you got to identify it, and then we got to talk about how to go through it. So I say all that to say that you're going to get value from this channel for not only us having the conversation about what fear is attacking you right now and how do you pragmatically get through it so that you actually do the thing that you need to do. You say the things that you need to say. You have the conversation you need to have in order to get to the future that you really want and not allow fear to hold you hostage where you are now. We're going to talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about how you build your business to your very first six-figure year. Right? And those two things go hand in hand in many cases, because so often, not always, but so often, what holds us back from getting to our first 6 figures in our business, from getting to that place of that level of success, there's so many more levels, right? And that may not even be your immediate level of success that you're trying to get to. You may just be trying to get to 20,000. You may just be trying to get to your first profitable year. Okay. These steps are going to help you get to whatever that goal is. But if 6 figures for your very first year is something you aspire to, this channel is going to help you do it. And I do that by distilling down the information that I have the privilege of gleaning from coaches who are 6, 7, and 8 figure earning coaches. And you need to hear it. And we're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it concise so that you are able to ingest the information and then digest the information and then implement the information so that you can go from where you are to where you actually want to be. So I said all that to say, in growing this channel to 10,000 subscribers in 30 days, that is what you're going to get. And that's why you're going to want to subscribe to this channel. You're going to want to go ahead, hit that subscribe button for me so that 1, thank you in advance for helping to get to my goal, and 2, helping this channel to grow so that you, not only are you getting the information that you need as a coach and as a new entrepreneur on how to build your business to 6 figures your first year, but other people will find it as well because you have helped the algorithm to show it to more people. So again, I'm Kenesha Hart, and so let's dive into what I'm talking about today. So just to recap, it is September 1st, 2024. Because I said I was doing this and I did not prepare well in the fact of doing this at the beginning of the day, which was my goal, or recording this previously before September 1st, there's some things that I'm going to be working out with you guys in my business of getting better at planning, getting better at organizing, getting better at setting myself up for success and systems so that I'm successful and consistent. So you all hold me accountable for being consistent and showing up every single day here on YouTube, every single day for the next 30 days in September. So that's my commitment to you. You commit to subscribe, be a follower, share this channel out. I'm going to commit to being here and giving you absolute, concise, concrete, applicable, in the moment, not fluff, tools, techniques, strategies, and practical steps that you can take to 1, build your business to 6 figures in a year, and then 2, to eradicate the fear, to forge through the fears that are holding you back, and to even maybe help you identify what those fears are that you don't even know exist so that you can move forward and get to the place that you want to be in your future, and your future can then become your now at some point in the future. Make sense? Okay. So today I want to do a very brief talk about forging through the fear of vulnerability. So I'm going to use myself as an example. Okay, so I am not a social media person, and YouTube is social media, right? And this is going to be on probably Facebook as well. And so Facebook is definitely in the realm of what we consider social media. But I am not a person who enjoys these things. I don't enjoy being necessarily on camera. Now, I love to speak. So I am a speaker. I love to speak to people. I love to share the knowledge and the wisdom that the Lord has blessed me with in the areas in which He's given me that blessing, right? And I love to teach from a stage, right? So I love to do those things. Have no problem. But I don't like to be in front of a camera. And I don't like to interact with people in what I consider like a screened way, because there's a screen between us, right? Like right now I'm recording this on my phone. I'm recording it to a screen. You will see this on a screen of some kind, whether it's your computer, whether it's your cell phone, right? There's a screen between us. And so that doesn't build authentic enough connection for me. Now, granted, we can build authentic connection, right? But I'm the type of person that I love to talk with people face to face, whether that is through a screen like Zoom or any other meeting platform, or it's in person. But that's my preference. And so me doing these sessions where it's going to be you and me, the majority of them, there are going to be a few sessions where it's going to be myself and another coach that I'm interviewing, or another coach that's interviewing me, and we're giving you double your worth and double the value on how to build your business to 6 figures in a year for your first time. But the majority of these are going to be you and me having a conversation. And if I remember, I'll give you a little bit of what to look forward to over the month of September, because there will be certain days that we'll be doing certain things, talking about certain things. So The vulnerability piece comes in the fact that because I'm talking to you through a screen, I have to be vulnerable in a few areas. One, I'm being vulnerable by telling you this is not my comfort zone, right? And so this is the other thing with social media. There's this place for comments. Now I could turn the comments off, but I want to interact with you guys, right? And I want to be able to answer questions, or I want to be able to provide guidance and encouragement as I can. So probably won't turn off the comments. So anytime I'm doing communication, speaking, presentations, conversations with you, and you have an opportunity to communicate back with me via comments, then that makes me a little bit vulnerable, because those comments could or could not be kind, right? And it just comes with the territory. So there's that hesitation of actually putting out content, sharing value with you, talking to you in a space, in a forum where you get to share your opinion back. That can be a little scary. It creates some vulnerability. And so that's one place. Number two is, I tell you guys, so I don't know about you, but I struggle at times, often, unfortunately, with being consistent. I love to start new things. If you love to start new things, put in the comments, you are a starter. You love to try new things. You love to do new ideas. You love to say, oh my goodness, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I have this new idea. I'm going to try it. And then you try it for about a week or maybe 3. And then you get tired of it because you're not seeing the results that you want, or it's too much work, or you didn't really plan on this, or you added it onto a plate that was already over full. And now you're like, okay, I really didn't have time for this, so I'm really going to take it off the plate. And then you feel bad because you weren't consistent with what you said you were going to do. And then you don't see the results because you weren't consistent with what you said you were going to do. Okay, I'm talking to me. I don't know if I'm talking to you. But if I'm talking to you and me, then I am being vulnerable here and saying that I am hopeful, yet cautiously aware that me being consistent for the next 30 days to produce this content is going to be a challenge, right? Because this is day 1 and I have nothing pre-recorded. There are going to be some of these that are going to be live, but there's also going to be some of these that are going to be pre-recorded. I have nothing, and tomorrow's the 2nd, and I got to show up tomorrow. So there is the fear and the concern. They're the same thing, typically, that I'm not going to be consistent with what I'm telling you and committing to you to do right now. So I need your help to stay consistent. I need your help to stay accountable. I need your help to say in the comments, hey, Kanisha, we're looking to your next video. Hey, Kanisha, this video was great. Can't wait to see your next one. Hey, Kanisha, what's the next video going to be about? So that I feel I have an extra compulsion to make sure that I show up. But that's me being vulnerable. And there's a fear in that vulnerability, because where's the fear come from? One, that I'm going to disappoint myself and be disappointed again because I've said I was going to do something and I didn't. And where our confidence breaks down is when we consistently tell ourselves that we're going to do something and then we let ourselves down. One of the biggest confidence crushers is us not keeping our word to ourselves, because then we don't believe we can trust ourselves. And so then we don't have confidence in ourselves. So I want you to hear that again. And I want you to write it down if you have a chance and you're not driving or doing something that would prevent you from writing it down. One of the biggest crushers of confidence is us failing to keep our word to ourselves. Us failing to do what we said we would do. For example, I'm committing to doing 30 days, every single day, showing up on YouTube to teach you how to forge through the fear that's holding your future hostage, and how to build to the future that you want of 6 figures in your business for the very first time as a new coach or a struggling coach or a new entrepreneur and a struggling entrepreneur. That's what I'm committed to. But if by day 6, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't have time in my schedule. I don't have anything to talk about. These people are not showing up. I don't know what to do. Nobody has subscribed. And so I just fall off the wagon. And then for 2 days, I don't post anything, or I don't come and talk to you. By the first day, I'm going to feel bad. By the second day, I'm going to feel maybe even worse, By the third day, I'm just going to be disappointed, and then I'm going to become indifferent. And then by the fourth day, I'm just going to be berating myself that I'm a failure. I never followed through. I don't know why I try to do anything, because eventually I start off strong and then I fail and I fizzle out, and it's never going to get me anywhere. And this is the crazy talk that happens. I want to say true talk, because those things are true. If you don't continue, if you do not follow through, then no, you will never, ever achieve what you want. But that doesn't have to be my reality, because I can make a different decision. I can recognize that's what I'm doing and then make a different decision. But that will cause me, if that happens, that will cause my confidence in myself to falter. It will cause it to be crushed, because now I don't even believe my own self. So why would I even believe in myself? Hence, lack of confidence. So the vulnerability comes into play of, if I do it and then I stop, you might have something to say. Now that may or may not hurt my feelings. Even if you don't say anything, I'm going to be thinking about what you're going to say, maybe, and be concerned that, oh, I let you down. Oh, you're probably never, ever going to do business with me when I do eventually get it together, if I didn't get it together this time. And so, I've lost a potential person. I've made my reputation look bad because I didn't follow through, which God knows I've had to repent and ask for forgiveness and ask for grace and ask for mercy, because I have done before. And so those things that's me being vulnerable, because I now have opened up myself to potentially be hurt and disappointed by myself and by you in how you respond or don't respond, or what your response may be in the future, or what I'm imagining your response may be in the future, or imagining what your response may be to this, that I could be hurt. I could be disappointed. My feelings could be discouraged, right? And so there's that fear. Do I really want to be this vulnerable? Do I, it brings up the question, do I want this to be the one and only video that I post, and at the end say, you know what? I decided I'm not going to do it. And that's going to be it. Just to stay in the comfort zone of don't let myself down and don't let you down. But does that serve anybody? Does it serve you? Does that serve God? My God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Does it serve his purposes and goals for my life? He wants such good things for us. He has such good plans for us. Jeremiah 29:11. I think good thoughts for you and have good plans for you, for your future and for a hope, not for evil. That is what he has for us. That is what he has for you. That is what he has for me. So me quitting, me choosing to take the safe route and say, I'm not even going to try because I might fail, that's going to require me to push through the fear. And by not doing that, I am honoring God. And hopefully I will honor you and offer some value, some good advice, some good guidance, some encouragement, some wisdom, some strategies, some practical application techniques that you can use to move forward in your life. And I don't know. I think I'll tell you some things that you may not have heard. I may not, right? You may have heard some of the other ones, but I think people connect. I know I do, because you like a person. And so I hope I'm able to come to you in a way, in a manner that clicks for you. And if I don't, that's okay, right? Don't subscribe. Don't tell anybody about me. Find the person and the people who work for you. But if you're like, I can vibe with her, I like her, I see what she's trying to do, I like how she delivers, stay with me. Give me some encouragement. Subscribe, share it with a friend. Let's do this thing and grow together, because this is growth for my business as well as it's going to be growth for your business. It's growth for my life as well as it is growth for your life. It's growth for my character as well as the growth for your character. It's growth for my excellence and doing things in excellence, or working to do things in excellence, as it is for you. So let's do it together. So how do we forge through the fear of vulnerability? And forging, if you ever think about what forge means, then it's the molding and it's the shaping of something, usually in fire, right? Because if you think of a forge, the actual noun, it is what was used to the hot heat that was hot enough to shape metal and create weapons back in the day. And that's what we go through often when we're fighting fear, because it is hot, it is heavy, it is difficult to get through it. It weighs on us, but oh, if we can get through it. Ooh, what a sharp, beautiful, effective weapon we become. We just add a layer to ourselves. So how do we forge through this vulnerability? How do I forge through this vulnerability? How do you forge through your vulnerability? And I'm going to say one thing that is going to be ever present in every conversation we have about forging through fear. It's one of the practical foundations, and its foundation is know why you're doing it, right? And attach that why to the benefit, not the possible outcomes. Okay? And so what do I mean by that? So the benefit of this, when I think about making this commitment to do 30 days, Lord bless me to deliver. What is the benefit of this? Number one, I get to share in rapid fire a lot of valuable information to you in a very short amount of time that hopefully will help propel you into a very fast, effective momentum going into it's not exactly the last quarter of the year, but the last 4 months of the year, so the last third of the year, that could potentially completely change your year around. It could change the trajectory of your year. It could change the effectiveness of the year. It could change your profit of the year. And so number one, that's a benefit that I'm hoping will happen from what you're going to get out of these next 30 days and then continuing on in my channel. Number two, it introduces me to you and you to me. And I think that's a benefit because God created all of us to have value to share with one another. Every single one of you brings something valuable and different to the table. And you may not think so, but you do. Even if you said the exact same thing that somebody else has said that you heard and you're repeating it, your delivery is different, your tone is different, your mannerisms are different. And that's what sets you apart because every single person is different and people relate to people differently. I can hear the exact same thing from 3 different people, and there's going to be one of those people who deliver it in a way that is going to connect and resonate with me more than the other 2. And it doesn't mean I don't like the other 2. I could love the other 2, but I'm going to love one better than all the rest. And so that's the case here. I hope to be able to introduce you to Kanisha, and I hope to get to know you in the comments. Send me DMs, emails. Email's probably not the best, but send me DMs on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the best place to find me. Connect with me. Let's get to know each other. And so that benefit is beneficial to me and is part of my why, because also I want to grow the Coach Up podcast and I want to grow in the speaking arena to be able to share and take the messaging that God has given to me to more people so that I can bring it to you. I can bring it to where you are in your city, in your town, at your conference that you attend, to the organization that you attend on a regular basis, to the virtual conference that you attend, to your group of clients that you want to bless with a speaking engagement and an event to help them in their growth. All of that comes from me being able to interact with you and grow this channel in a way that allows more people to find it and get this information. So, and to get to know me, and me to know you, and to interact. So that's the one, and that's the one I'm going to share. One very practical way of forging through vulnerability is attaching, knowing what you're doing, why you're doing it. Because when that is the case, and that's what you focus on, and that's what you go back to, when inevitably you get hit with discouraging comments from friends or disbelief from people who say you're never going to be able to do that, or people continue to tell you no when you ask for a sale, when you ask for marketing, when you pitch something, when you decide to put up your website and nobody comes, essentially they're saying no, or you make 17 posts and get no interaction, whatever it may be. You go back to your why and you say, this is why I started it, and it will work. It will happen. And only can it happen if I continue to forge forward and don't quit. I told my mama this when we were talking about the struggles that I've had in building my podcast over the last year and a half. And we were also talking about, we weren't talking about the podcast, but it applies to my podcast, but we were also talking about another activity that I do on a regular basis, and I haven't had as much success with it as I want. And I told her, I said, well, Mom, nobody ever won quitting. Nobody ever succeeded quitting. And that goes back to the reason we forge through vulnerability and how we forge through vulnerability. When we put ourselves out there, knowing that we may get hurt because of how people respond or the treatment that we get in response to us putting ourselves out there, is knowing why we're doing it and holding on to that. So I challenge you to do that. If you've heard this before, this is not new, but sometimes you may have to distill down your why to a particular activity that you're doing, right? So it comes from your bigger why of you have the desire to help people transform their lives into the life that they want as a coach, or you have a desire to help people to ease the way that they do things as an entrepreneur through the expertise that you can offer them, or the service or the product that you can offer them, or you bring them joy through the service or the product that you offer them. And that may be your why. But in your work, you may say, I'm going to do a 30-day challenge where I'm going to show up every single day on YouTube to encourage, to educate people, to get them from point A to point B, to get them from where they are in their business, struggling or new, to 6 figures, on track to make 6 figures in the next 12 months, in a year. That's what I'm doing. You may say that, and you say, so I'm going to show up. Now, what is your why for that? It applies to the bigger why, but there may be another why that you need to distill specifically to that new project, that new activity that helps you keep going. And even when you get hit with rejection, with slow progress, with discouragement, it allows you to continue to keep going. So that is my challenge to you today. I want to invite you again, subscribe to the channel. My goal is 10,000 subscribers to this YouTube channel in the next 30 days. And my goal is to bring you so much value that you are set on track to finish 2024 super strong, and to put you on track that 12 months from now, you and your business as a coach or an entrepreneur will hit 6 figures, if not before. So join me, share this with a friend, come back tomorrow. We'll be here again. And I look forward to staying consistent. Keep me accountable. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow.